worst case scenario is it's becoming apparent to me that Steph Curry needs help even when they're fully healthy. So I'm assuming he's back. This fluctuation of who's the second best player, Steiny, can take you so far. So when this season culminates, and I don't think it will with the NBA championship, I'm hoping, it's time to get a big boy in here. And I'm ready to whatever it takes to get Steph Curry a bona fide, proven NBA star. I look at Denver. Jokic has got Murray. Murray's got Jokic. A week ago they were making a Western Conference Finals run. I didn't say they were making a Western Conference Final run last year. But I'm just telling you Steph needs a bona fide scorer. And if we're going to tune in and say, oh, the kids are making great strides, you know what? That works other places. But that ain't working for the chef. Give me a bona fide star, man.
So you've given up on this season?
I ain't giving up. I'm just telling you what I see.
What if they make a run?
They make a run. I still think Steph needs another number 2 bona fide star, and it's not Wiggins.
My point is, do you see how far we've jumped in a week?
No, where time is running out. They got 19, 18 games left, man.
We were talking about this team as a Western Conference run.
I said what I said. Yeah, I said what I said.
We have sound from him earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Now he needs a big boy.
Yeah, he does, man.
Okay, okay.
And it's no shade at anybody else.
Kuminga was that big boy.
No, Kuminga's a nice young 21-year-old player.
I didn't know we were going there yet. Yeah. I'm trying to, say, hey, just go ahead and beat San Antonio, hang in the thing. Next thing I know, this team that was going to scare everybody under the sun needs a big boy. Are we skipping to the offseason? That's all I'm asking.
Well, you asked Joe Lacob, your buddy, who you talked to at the game Thursday.
It was before the game. He was feeling pretty good, like everybody.
And he should be. But my point is, he picked up the phone and called Jeannie Buss. Who, by the way, has a weird video with LeBron James. What was going on in that conversation?
Wait, which one? I didn't see
the one where LeBron sat out last week and Jeannie Buss and her girlfriend were sitting next to him and he was in the middle. I won't. Spadoni, my bad. But you wonder, he's running that team. But anyway, Joe Lacob called to see what was up with the King. I'll leave that there. Other than that, I'm good, Steiny. We watched the game together. You were in the Yoon. And we were like, San Antonio can't miss a 3.
I was looking at this today. The Warriors, for the most part, have been healthy this year. Steph's played 59 of 63. Clay has played 60 of 63. So both those guys are on a 75-game pace, which is outstanding.
Wow.
Green's played 40 of 60, but it's all been suspension where he's missed, so he's been healthy. Kuminga's 62 of 63. Wiggins is 54 of 63.
Okay.
So they've essentially been healthy. And last year, everybody said there was no continuity. I don't know. I'm just saying. Like, things have not gone poorly for them, and they're still in the health seat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt about it. And they're a game and a half out of that. So I know Steph is not going to – Lakers kind of get momentum. But, man, Steiny, the loss to the Bulls and what we saw Saturday at home without San Antonio's 2 best players, in my estimation, that's uncalled for. And I know I don't know what to do. And I keep thinking about good Jordan Poole when Curry would be out in times like this, and maybe you could get 25 to 30 points. This is nothing at Chris Paul. He is who he is. But, Steiny, that's not going to cut it, man, losing at home. Now they're 500 at home.
Sounds like you're losing faith.
I don't know how you gain faith after that week, after beating, I thought, the game of the year or the win of the year for the Milwaukee Bucks.
415, Steiny, I don't think the Warriors will ever get a big star. Because the problem is they make it so clear it's all about Steph. If I'm a big star, I don't want to go there and help them win a championship, and then Steph gets all the credit. Not doing that. 415. I was from the 415 on the Comcast business text line.
Well, Durant had a good run.
Well, that's kind of what he's saying.
He talked about how, anybody that would come knows, Steiny, that Derek Jeter is Steph Curry.
Right.
And are you coming for the accolades, or are you coming to kind of get a title or win? Well, like some would say, I don't care about that stuff.
Well, I don't think you can ever, you can't. There's a lot here, and I'll be willing to go down that road. My point is, and I started to think about it, I wonder if what happened with Durant may affect the Warriors' ability to get a guy who's really good at Steph level now or a little bit below. I absolutely think there's something to that. If the league thinks that when Durant came to the Warriors and helped the Warriors win titles, that Durant didn't get any credit, forget what you and me think. Yeah. If that's what the players think in general, obviously there's outliers, but why would the Warriors be able to sign a free agent or trade for a guy with clout who'd say, I'll go there, if they feel that's what's going to happen? They won't come.
Well, I don't believe that happened, and everybody can feel how they feel, and we all know Kevin Durant is different, Steiny. I don't want to say sensitive, and if it's sensitive, that's not a bad thing, but I would just tell you, if you look at what happened on the court, they were a powerhouse. 3 straight trips to the NBA Finals, and, we could make arguments without injuries, they would have won 3. So if that new Durant or that player's out there that doesn't have an ego, because to me, that falls under the ego. And how much credit do I get? I guess Bradley Beal didn't have a problem going to Phoenix and playing with 2, worried about how much credit he'll get if Phoenix were to win one with Booker and Durant.
But they've never won a title.
Durant has, though.
Right, but not in Phoenix.
Yeah, but still.
But that's a huge difference. Yeah. Like, to me, if...
Winners want to win.
Right, let's say Luka Doncic became a free agent in the next 3 years.
Yeah.
I would be willing to bet there's no chance he would ever come to the Warriors if he doesn't have a title. So, a guy like Luka Doncic, and I get it, it's far-fetched. Yeah. Why would Luka Doncic join the Warriors, let's say right now?
To win a title. But to play with Steph and bolster his chances at winning a title.
Yeah, and I just don't think, I think we're past that point.
From a credit standpoint,
exactly.
From Luka.
I mean, if I'm Luka, I got to stay in Dallas, or I would go somewhere where they haven't won a ring. I mean, that I completely understand. That's why I truly think, and Spinone, you can jump in here if you want, Lacob called the Lakers specifically about LeBron, because LeBron's been around so long now and still playing at a high level, LeBron knows everything it would mean to become a teammate of Steph Curry in the Bay, and he might just be willing to do it. But if I'm a young star, 25 or 26, I don't think you want to tag along to get a title with Steph Curry if you think that's the way it's going to be perceived, which is, I guess, the way Durant thought he was perceived. Yeah. I mean, and then we can talk about what happens after Steph leaves, and that's another issue entirely. But I'm not saying there'd be nobody willing to come here to play with Steph. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I don't think every player would come here and want to play with Steph, because that comes with a lot of issues. And the biggest issue is, it doesn't automatically mean you're winning a title like it did with Durant. I mean, if a great player were to join the Warriors and join Steph, but they'd have to lose a bunch of guys, there's no guarantee that would be a title team. I don't think. It might be.
But if it was somebody like Giannis, I personally would roll the dice.
See, Giannis is different now because he has a ring.
Right, gotcha.
I'm kind of talking about a guy like, Doncic is a guy who comes to mind.
Devin Booker.
I
don't have a ring.
I wouldn't.
Just a heads up, guys. It does factor into the 49ers. The Jaguars are signing Bills wide receiver Gabe Davis. As you well know, his same draft class as Brandon Ayuk. So 2 wide receivers in that draft class have signed for 3-year deals, the other being Michael Pittman Jr. Could be something that Ayuk might be looking at.
So we don't know the number on the second guy?
We don't, but Michael Pittman was 3 for $70.
Put in the cap.
You're confident. I think Ayuk is better than Gabe Davis.
Of all the things the 49ers are going to do, Ayuk being with them is one of them. I think. All signs pointing to that, I think. That's what it seems like.
And maybe that's what was the pay cut for, again, Armstead, those chips, or that chicken was going towards this new deal for Brandon Ayuk. And you don't want to have him playing on that 5th year when he knows and everybody knows he's more valuable than that, Steiny, and it can be over in any play. I don't want to say it because I could hear you already coming with the joke, the right thing to do, but you kind of want to take care of Ayuk.
No,
Because Bob Myers would tell us, remember what he said, Goo, you don't got to make a decision until you have to.
Well,
this is different.
A little bit. Antonio in Oakland. What's up, Antonio? How you doing, man?
Oh, doing good. Yeah, I think a star would want to come here, man, because Steph is unselfish. And 7 years ago, Steph, was willing to be kind of like the hybrid second guy. So, now he would. And as far as Luka Doncic goes, I don't think players want to play with him because he's extra ball dominant. He dribbles for the whole shot clock. And Steph's not like that. Steph is playing the ball movement offense. So I think it could be Embiid or Giannis want to come here. Like, say if the Bucks flame out in the first round or even the second round, I think he would want to come play over here, man. Especially because a couple years ago, the Warriors had Greek night and stuff, and I think he would like this organization. And Embiid especially as well, he might want to be tired of losing to the 76ers or with the 76ers. So him and Steph would be a great tandem, and he would want to see, himself play with a great player like that. More spacing. That's my opinion.
Thanks a lot, Antonio. Just FYI, every team in the NBA now has a Greek night, every city.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
No, they have one in Indy.
Yeah.
I know they just recently added one in Atlanta to their schedule. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong. I think it depends on the guy. It depends on the player. I mean, we also don't know. Let's take a guy in his prime, 26, 27. Maybe the reason you don't come to the Warriors is because, you don't want to be put up against the clock of, I better win a title in 2 years because Steph's not going to, Steph's going to be 39 at some point.
Well,
that's the other reason. If I'm a young star and I'm going somewhere, I'm not going with a guy who's 36, 37. I'm going to go with a guy who's like 30, who I think could be my teammate for 5-6 years to give us a little more wiggle room. I tell you what though, I'm not ruling it out that LeBron's a Warrior next year.